Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast. And for those who saw my community post, I did say I was going to live stream, but I did have technical difficulties, so I was not able to stream here. But I'm going to be doing a video here, and the reason why I'm having a really urgent upload is because the big National Hurricane Center update and what they are finding on recon for Tropical Storm Delta, which is nearing hurricane strength as it is trying to rapidly intensify. It is sitting here at 980 millibars, which is what they found on recon, and it'll be really exciting what they have at the 8 o'clock update for the National Hurricane Center. But the big thing is this could possibly rapidly intensify into a major hurricane and possibly just making a landfall for the Yucatan Peninsula and Mexico, which just got hit by a tropical storm not too long ago, less than a day ago, I believe. So, and that's going to bring in a ton of flooding and storm surge. So it is actually the big threat here. And then expect the possibly make landfall in Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane. If it gets a lot stronger, then maybe a major hurricane for Louisiana here. But that's the big update for Cuba and for Mexico, as it could very well bring in big impacts that was not expected to happen. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So they did a special advisory not too long ago on Delta, and they have it at 70 miles an hour. But I definitely think this could be a hurricane at the regular 8 o'clock update here. It's at 983 millibars, moving west at 8 miles an hour. And then Tropical Depression Gamma, like I said, it's not going to be a hurricane. It's dying now, and I did say that was possible that it would die. And those of you who thought it would be a hurricane, like I say, I mean, it was going to go almost stalling over interacting the land, but now it's moving southwest at 5 miles an hour, picking up the pace. But Delta being a big threat for the Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba. The western Cuba here could possibly see the worst of the flooding, and Mexico could possibly see the worst of the winds here, possibly 120 miles an hour or even a little stronger for Cancun and the Yucatan area, and even all the way up to Havana, Cuba. I mean, this was not expected whatsoever here. Not only were we not expecting a landfall for Mexico, but we were not expecting it to be 120 miles an hour before even entering the Gulf here. But that's also going to be some rising concerns possibly for the Gulf Coast here, Louisiana. Could you guys have a chance to get hit by a major hurricane? The National Hurricane Center doesn't think so just yet, but Delta can very well rapidly intensify more than expected. So here, looking at the satellite imagery, and this system is looking a lot better. Every single run there is that low pressure clearly closed. And I mean, don't get me started on the banding. I mean, the banding is absolutely perfect. I mean, you have the banding there. I mean, it's definitely closed, low pressure. You got perfect inflow. You got perfect outflow. I mean, the outflow is crazy. The inflow is pretty well as well. I mean, look at those quadrants. I mean, it looks extremely organized. And look at the size of the system. Very, very large. Bringing a ton of cloud cover for Cuba. Bringing a lot of cloud cover for all of Jamaica. So I'm going to bring some cloud cover for Honduras. And portions, I believe, there in Nicaragua. But, I mean, this is expected to possibly go through the really warm waters. I mean, it has yet to go through those extremely warm waters. And it's starting to really almost alright at this point. I mean, pressure is continuing to really drop. I think today it started at 998 millibars. And recon found 980, I believe. That's a 13 millibar drop in less than 12 hours. Because I woke up like at around 8 a.m. and that's when I saw. But look at this. I mean, this is actually extremely impressive what it's doing here. So this is what they have. I mean, for those who haven't seen it already, look at what we have. A major hurricane just possibly skinning the coast of Yucatan. And if it strengthened, I mean, it could very well make a landfall in Mexico. But either way, if it makes a landfall or just barely missing, it is going to bring big impacts. We have a hurricane warning for western Cuba and hurricane warnings including Cancun. So not the time to go on a vacation there. I mean, they just got hit by Gamma. Gamma, yes, it was weak. It was a 70 mile an hour tropical storm when it made landfall, but it was stalling over and bringing extremely heavy rain. So having a major hurricane coming in 2-3 days later, the flooding is going to be a lot easier to occur in those storm surges, especially for western Cuba, since they are in that northeastern quadrant, could see more flooding. But really extremely worried about. I mean, look at that wind field now. Super small, but at 8 o'clock, it could be double the size here. It could be a hurricane, possibly by 2 a.m. tomorrow. So it could be definitely well over 75 miles an hour when we wake up tomorrow morning here. Could very well be 80, could very well be 90, and expected to be 120 miles an hour, making landfall overnight, possibly at 2 a.m., maybe 5 a.m. And that's not what we want to see there at an overnight major hurricane landfall in an area that did not expect it. I mean, this is going to make landfall in less than 36 hours if it goes into what it's supposed to happen. And that's going to weaken to just a category 2 here because of those cooler waters that, like I mentioned, and then make landfall possibly near Morgan City, Louisiana, based on what we have now. So kind of a western trend, and then still be an inland tropical storm as far as Mississippi. So let's check out what we have right now here. This is 5 o'clock update. So this is actually it's almost 2 hours old, but it's the kind of the latest update, so it's not old. You see, expected by Tuesday, which is tomorrow, p.m. 110 miles an hour, guys. That's 40 plus miles an hour. That's 40 miles an hour compared to what it is now. That's 40 miles an hour compared to where it is now. That is basically in less than 24 hours, as you see. Because this is actually the evening for Eastern, and that is p.m. Like, that's most likely in the afternoon. The 5 o'clock update now, so that's just maybe less than 24 hours, or just 24 hours. So that's definitely rapid intensification. And then you do see it be possibly making landfall, or not possibly, gonna definitely possibly be a threat for Cancun. We have a smaller cone there because we kind of know where it's going to go, but 120 miles an hour for landfall, and then weaken to 100 miles an hour, and then make landfall around the Louisiana area, or just the general Gulf Coast there, and then go further inland as a tropical storm for portions of inland Mississippi and Alabama. Here is a tropical storm force wind probability, and I do expect it to extend most definitely to the east and to the west a little bit, or a good bit. But these areas right here are under the 90 to 100% chance here, and there definitely should be a 90 to 100% chance for Cuba. I don't know why they don't have a 90 to 100% chance right here. I mean, they're definitely going to see tropical storm force winds. I mean, most definitely. I mean, they can even see Cat 2 winds in far western Cuba here. Cancun under a 90 to 100% chance. Definitely going to get the worst of the winds there. But it's going to go possibly straight like this. Like straight, just making a landfall for western, for the far eastern Yucatan Peninsula. But this is kind of what we have. This is kind of where we the National Hurricane Center expects the worst winds to be. I definitely do see that 90 to 100% chance, definitely extending eastward into inland Cuba, the far western area there. It tracks, as you see, the majority show it just missing Yucatan and Cancun, but we do have a few. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 showing a landfall there, but a very just on the coast there. And then you kind of see this is the general cone here, kind of gonna go west northwest and do that northern turn, and then go due northeast, and then make landfall around the areas of far eastern or the eastern Louisiana area between Morgan City and the Grand Isle, Louisiana area. And possibly go kind of further inland the south. This kind of reminds me of kind of what Sally did. When Sally obviously kind of did like that, went straight northeast. Kind of do the same thing. It's going to go kind of west northwest like Sally did. Obviously not the same direction or the same location, but Sally went west northwest, then due north, then straight up northeast. So it's kind of similar track, or not track, or similar directions in the same order. Obviously not the same track, and obviously not the same direction. Not direction, obviously not the same location. As you see, expected to blow up, could possibly be reaching Cat 2 or Category 3 force winds as early as 24 hours, which is obviously very possible. But we look at all the models getting to a Category 3 hurricane. We have 3 getting to a Category 4. But you do see actually this is actually the 5 o'clock update, so they don't have it at 70 miles an hour. They actually have it at 60 miles an hour, but definitely could very well could be a hurricane tonight. Expected to just blow up overnight there, just regain strength. I mean, it could very well have an eye tomorrow morning. Would not shock me at the point where it's rapidly organizing and rapidly intensifying. So here's a look now at the GFS here. What we have, as you do see at 993, boom, just blowing up 970 millibars there. 971, 960, 956, and then weakening because of those cooler waters there. A 961 millibar landfall for Louisiana. And that's going to bring in definitely a good amount of rain there. So that's exactly what we're looking at. I mean, the GFS, I mean, it kind of definitely has a agreeable track here and also strength as well. So guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll definitely have another video out tomorrow. Really watching out as it's nearing landfall, possibly as a major hurricane for Mexico.